Countdown. You are live. Here we go.
Yes, we back at it once again. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go again.
What's up, y'all? It's Mighty to be here.
Confessions
And
of Poet, and we are.
TCP, the constipated
Pew,
poet.
pew, 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 pew.
once again, for those that's just joining in, tuning in to us, don't know crap about us or anything. I am Mighty to be, and this is my sister in poetry, Confessions, and um, we just, we've been knowing each other how long?
About almost 2 years, I think.
Yeah, we just, I
Two and a
mean,
half years. Feel like a long ass time.
yeah, do.
We
Once I came
instantly clicked though.
easily, yo. Like we had like a similar poetry style, and we both, cared a lot about mental health whenever it came mental health and social injustice. I mean,
Yeah,
we write about a lot of the same things, we cared
yeah.
about, and so that easily bonded us together. And and I was like, she was the first one in the poetry world. I was feeling her style, and I was like, I was like, so like, she hit me up one day. Was like, "Hey, I want to do a collab with you. You want to do a collab with me? You
Yeah,
just want
you.
to do a collab with me?
Yes,
Okay,
you.
okay,
Yes,
cool."
you.
And that shit just ran together easily. I texted a verse, she texted a verse back, and it shit just came together flawlessly, yo. Yeah.
We met at yeah, it was an open mic, just like Maya said, and she was up there like really just spitting like a lot of the spoken word events in the community that we went to. A lot of the poetry was the same, and not to throw shade or slugs at anyone, a lot of the poetry just told the same sad story. It wasn't many people doing things on politics, and I get it. I'm not judging. It's just when I heard Maya spit, we had some of the same similar poems, and the beauty of it is we are we day and night. We are two completely different people, but when it comes to our mindset, it's like I can't really explain it. We see the same. We see things the same view in the most odd way, and like she just said, it's
It's a
just
yin and a
flow
yang,
together,
yo.
bro.
It's the yin and the yang.
Right. Like it really does. So of course I was like, I want to and I didn't do collaborations to tell you the truth because to a lot of people's surprise, I don't do good with collaborating. I'm very stubborn about, and Maya knows this firsthand. I'm an asshole about the things that I create. It's like I didn't ask you, don't tell me. I didn't tell you that I needed help because it comes from a place that should not be judged, and I had to learn how to take it personal. Like if somebody's giving you constructive criticism, it's not a judgment. It's just they're seeing something from a different perspective. But I'm looking at it not as an attack. I'm looking at it as, but I'm just releasing, so that's why I want to keep it there. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it's like that was the reason for me not collaborating, but because the things that we spoke of, social injustice, mental health, family life, and then we both from the South. She's from Louisiana, I'm from Texas. We
Well, I'm from
cousins.
Texas. I'm from Texas,
Oh,
but
you
I
from
am from
Texas, but
Louisiana too.
she from Texas, Anna.
Both. Roots from
So
Louisiana. So, but
so we
anyway,
can.
no, and see the thing is too, I don't work well with others either, because don't ask me to collab if you ain't gonna let me do what I do. So
We having experience that,
I am not
yeah.
I'm not a professional, you just gonna have to you're just gonna have to let me go off into my own little world, write my own words, let me spit how I spit. And I mean it works out. So
I remember we was creating a mental health piece, and I don't know if you remember this. I remember you was like, "What this bitch want from me?" But then I remember we was doing on another piece that was for you, and I remember I was like, "What this bitch want from me?" But no, it worked out perfectly. But tonight, we are here to talk about all things Black history, Black
Juneteenth.
culture, the Black movement, Juneteenth, what it represents. And before I let you start, I just want to briefly say I was having a conversation with my coworker, and she was saying how her and her husband were talking, and people have lost the identity of Juneteenth. This generation sees Juneteenth as a bunch of riding around in cars showing, being out there to have something to post, but do they understand the foundation of why in the South, because they just now made this what a national or federal holiday. They don't. Do you understand
Oh,
why?
knucklehead trying to take it back though, but anyway.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? DEI and all that. But
Anyway, don't get me started. Don't get
good.
me started.
Oh yeah,
Shit.
we gonna get it started. But
Woo. Okay.
but it just brings awareness to, in poetry we have a way of giving them something that's entertainment and also educating them. And the things that we say, you can also fact check these. We ain't out here just spitting things and making them, you know what I'm saying, wanna rhyme and stuff like that. No, we're educated. You don't have to have a degree to be educated. A lot of education isn't found in schools, what they teach us to keep us programmed in chains and shackles. But I'm gonna let Maya chime in.
Yeah, like I said, when I say yin and yang, Confessions over here, she a life coach. She good with folks, even though she say, she stubborn, hard headed and everything, and with folks, she good with people. She got more patience than I do and stuff. So that's the yang in her. And I'm
Appreciate
I'm the yin. I don't want the patience. I don't care.
it.
You know. And so I just want to spit, yo. I don't want to talk that much. I just want to spit. Let's do our classes in session.
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. We're gonna give y'all we performed this. We haven't performed this in about 2 years, honestly. This is the first piece that we collaborated together. We're gonna go ahead and jump right in it. And it's called History Class. History class is in session. Was a present without a past. See, in Ephesians, they kept the arm of the gods in the right hand. Maya the B and Confessions bring you valuable lessons. Now, classes and sessions, we speak truth with aggression. Pay attention and listen. Put on the armor of class, because we are about to make some white folks mad.
Okay, girls and boys, take out your pen and a pad, raise your voice to the country and demand that they add the entire history of the black race to their educational slates, because they already had their own agenda to whitewash the truth to our youth. So here's some History 101, undiluted with a little color boost. Let's start off with a logical fact. Adam and Eve were indeed black. We're the only race that can reproduce every color. White folks just mad they had a darkie for a mother. Think about it now.
Shh. And the silence is loud. In America, the only sin is being black and proud. But now all of my trauma has me thinking bondage. They hammered nails in the hands of the second coming until he was unconscious. Yet I feel his pain daily, overthinking, dear God, why hast thou forsaken?
But he set you free. You can't make righteous without ratchet to rumble the sea. What would good look like if there was no ugly? What would we know of love without there being hate? Hope couldn't exist without there being faith. Christianity existed before we were slaves. The white man just twisted it for his own selfish ways. Just like Jesus was black, but they won't tell you that. They rather hang a picture of Keanu Reeves on their plaque.
Abraham Lincoln was black.
I ain't heard about that news, but hey, old dude can come to the barbecue.
Well, here's another fact. America's largest revolution keeps slavery intact. My ancestors robbed off intellectual independency so the pale tone can maintain wealth and greed. Columbus and them had they say when they traveled across the seas and made all our grandmamas sing, let freedom, freedom ring.
Oh, say, can you
Or maybe
see?
you don't care that Martin Luther King's dreams resurrected a nightmare because they sold us hope in the heat of the night, then disguised it as a law called civil rights. Now we fight every day for the right of existence, and that's the definition of the Constitution's 14th Amendment.
Oh, you mean the one just amended in
Yup,
1967,
that's it.
giving me the permission to marry my white husband without indiscretion?
Shh, be quiet. Class is in session.
If Scholastic can teach lessons, then I got so many questions. All they doing is guessing, but I'll make the corrections. A lot of these things you won't learn in the school system, because America will never show America as the true villain.
The Powerball's up to 1 million. Chances are 1 in 1 million. See, how the hell do y'all keep letting the government play with y'all feelings? I mean money, I mean mind, I mean peace, I mean time, I mean clothes, I mean looks. Do COVID still got y'all shook?
They may show you the cover, but edit and omit what's in the real book. So there's so much history that we're forced to overlook. Now, that was called Cliff Notes when I was growing up. We learned about the red coats, but refused to boast about Crispus Attucks and the Boston Massacre when the attacks occurred.
See, we was cattle and herd. That's what they preferred. Them bruises on my ancestors' back still do hurt, but that was back in the day. Now we don't flow that way. Me and our sis on this stage altering our DNA.
Man, I ain't come here to play. I'm just speaking knowledge. They didn't want them banned books to display. Man, we could have been rocking English accents all day because what mattered most to us was our freedom. So when the Revolutionary War spread across the region, we fled to the British, promising us liberty to intervene. Sophia Charlotte of Great Britain, hail to the real Black Queen.
Poem. Yes, energy. Energy, Maya. Energy. Energy. That's what I'm talking about. Black ass. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. I'm still here. I gotta put my notes for a second. I'm so sorry. I know I'm out. Second.
That's all right. That's all right. We got T and Alex with
What's
us.
poppin',
We got
people?
Nicole. We got Essence. We got Kevin. Oh, Essence giving fires, snaps, mics.
Yes, thank you, people.
Thank y'all for joining in on us.
Thank you for joining us in.
Feel free to join in on the conversation. We'll be back and forth on y'all.
You know, that's what they're doing right now in the present time. They're making an attempt to rewrite history yet again. A lot of the things that we used to could go down to the library and simply find in newspapers and things like that. You know, real education, I keep saying, it isn't learned in school doing 1, 2, 3s and ABCs. You have to go outside of yourself. You know, when you feel that it's an inner knowing that comes about in you where you're like, you know, some shit just ain't right. How the fuck did he come over here on the Nina, the Pinta, and the damn Santa Maria, and it was all already people here? What did you find? You didn't find land. You found people already here. So how did he discover the ocean blue in 1942? I have questions. And then there's truth. There's truth off into that. You have to take the time and you have to do your research. There are resources, you know what I'm saying? But you have to tune into that spark, you know, to know who the if we are and who we come from. So we're gonna get into some raw facts.
Alex, no, I'm still
go ahead. He's
talking about my I'm not a professional looking ass. I'm still not a professional. I am still not a professional. Do not put any type of what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? See, I'm not a professional.
Labels.
Yeah. Don't put any type of labels. Don't put any type of rankings or anything on me. Nothing. I don't want nothing. I don't want all that. Don't expect shit from me at all. Let's keep it how it is.
You know what? When we first did this very collab, I said, Maya, I don't get on the stage unless it's memorized. I'm not. I said, and I don't expect for you to hold that standard. That's just the standard I hold myself to. You to do. She said. So basically, you want me to memorize this shit? She said, I ain't no professional. I mean, I said, but you can do it. It's okay. You can do it. And she did it, and she killed it. She was nervous. She thought she wasn't gonna get it, but she got up there, and the stage is home for Maya. It's home for both of us. So yeah, that's just like some facts. It said Maya the B don't do labels, no, at all.
Hey, you see what Kevin said? You see what Kevin? The hubby said the best part he liked the best part about our poem was where I was allowed to marry him.
In the poem, what's the poem that he came in
the,
June 26, June 21? What's the
yeah,
poem? What's the poem? Now Kevin spit too.
the amendment, the amendment where that gave us that made
No,
me.
I know. I get what he's saying. I got you. That is the best part, Kevin. Of course, y'all have a beautiful family. For those you don't know, Maya the B last year, she welcomed me into her home. This is my sister for real. This was I was out there in them streets, and she said, "Get your ass in here and sit down somewhere." I said, "Yes, ma'am. I want to sit down." Nah, something like that, but no. So, but we're gonna get off into some slavery raw truths. Slavery was legal by society for over 246 years, but since we ain't into labels, if you want to think about it right now, the way that society set up, would you argue that we are still in slavery of the mind? How many people are taking time out to learn how to do things that if we didn't have the necessities that we have today, they're taking a lot away with all y'all see all these protests that are going on in cities and city and state to states, right? It's a part of them introducing the martial law. They're actually attempted. Anytime you have to call out what I don't know the military, y'all, what is the National Guard and things of that nature, you know that there's a change coming. I don't know who they're protecting and serving, but we're in mental slavery today because we're overworked and underpaid. Especially if we're going in to clock in on somebody else's dime instead of creating avenues for ourselves to build legacy for our people. So sometimes if we don't have the knowledge of how to do those things, simply living in our truth and doing what we're doing, poetry, spoken word, you know what I'm saying, advocating. Maya's a big advocate for like military, right, veterans' rights and things of that nature. Anytime we're living in our divine purpose, we're breaking out of those mental slavery chains. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
We got you. We got you. We got you.
Now, I just want to tap in this real quick. Slavery was not just a Southern sin. Even though we did go through the process of emancipation and proclamation, Northern banks, insurance companies, and also Ivy League schools profited too. Like, we built this entire economy on our backs, is basically what I'm saying. So that's a little bit of facts. Okay, let's get off. We ain't gonna.
To chime
We
in,
got.
we got Empress joined us in the chat.
What's up, Empress?
My cousin in Louisiana right now, Chelsea, joined in. Time I wash my mouth. Do you watch my mouth? You man, look at time I wash my mouth. Come on, Chelsea.
Hey, cousin.
Anyway, you know me. Anyway, so yeah, y'all, this this next poem I'm gonna do this individual piece. Yesterday was actually the 1 year anniversary of my cousin got shot and killed at a Juneteenth festival last year on June 15th. Lindsay Captain Vickner. She was one of two people that was killed at the festival in Little Rock, or I'm sorry, Round Rock, Texas. And it was a bunch of just stupid juvenile gang violence. It was kids, man, like kids. The oldest was had barely turned 18, was the oldest. Found out like the youngest was as young as like 12 when we was in the courtroom, and so a lot of them wasn't made publicly known and stuff like that because they were kids. They were babies acting like thugs, and it was just crazy. She was a young Black female lawyer. She graduated high school early, graduated college early. I mean, she had a degree, just young Black lawyer, attorney.
Yeah.
Had 3 kids. The youngest one wasn't even, I don't think was a year yet. The oldest one was 7. You know, man. Anyway, but that just hurt my heart. And
I
so I
know.
wrote this poem thinking about that. And so I'm just gonna spit this. It's called Poetry We as Black People Don't Want to Hear. We killing our own people and canceling our own culture, wanting to revolt, but we lacking in structure, claiming to be woke, but you just dreaming in color. We need another leader, but we keep killing our brothers. You want to love yourself, but you killing our mothers, recruiting our children, raising a villain. If Black Lives Matter to you, then you wouldn't be killing. You'd be fulfilling that dream that King told the billions. I don't know how to make it make sense to a child without sense. You killing our future Black attorneys and mentors because you want to play thug life at event centers. Homie, you a kid. Puberty hasn't even entered. Sit down somewhere and render an agenda. Represent a cause this whole world will remember and can benefit. Don't be a Black Benedict. You on a battlefield stepping like a general when generally you just chemical, just a rock trying to shine like a mineral. Be sensible. Warriors win battles. You're a parable, comparatively terrible, but repairable. You'll never be impeccable. Just focus on being credible, and the rest is inevitably inevitable. Still don't know what I just said? Then grab a dictionary, revise the literary, and become a revisionary. I'm an insurrectionary because we're about to start another revolution. Airy. I know the times be scary. We don't know where we going. Feels like we walking backwards. When we were sprinting up escalators and got distracted by actors trying to make sequels. Instead of adding our peoples, we subtracting our equals. You sheeples just slaves with Stockholm syndrome. You don't know how to make it better, so you just gonna play it dumb. They never forgot who they was. You just forgot where you came from. And every time you lay down, you just keeping us from a real one. We ain't had true leaders since you executed King and Malcolm. Now look at the outcome. You got David Duke running the country out from the woods and got to hide under the hoods. History taught us nothing but to stay misunderstood. Until we decide to come together and be bigger, then we always will be and will stay just another nigga.
Calm. Energy, Maya. Energy. How did that poem help you? You already know what I'm gonna ask. Did it help you release mentally? You expressed a lot. You tackled.
I mean, it
Because
was
that
it's
was the black on black violence like kind of thing that does happen. But you also tackled how our youth, a lot of our youth, they seen as YNs. You know, it's a broken.
it was on another level, yo, and that title says it all, yo. Poetry we don't want to hear, because before that happened, I was one of those people that didn't want to hear that shit. You know, I was tired of people trying to blur the lines with what's happening with white folks, white and black, by saying people of our own color doing this, doing that against ourselves. And then this shit happened, right? And it fucking got me angry. And I was like, damn, man, fuck, yo, I don't want to talk about that shit. But I mean, it's happening, yo. And it's like, man, we the only people that don't want to, come together. If we came together, we could rule this world, yo. And they know that. They know that.
But that's
Everybody
again
knows that.
that's again what we were talking about again. It's being a slavery as a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? Even though we ain't in whips and chains physically, we in whips and chains mentally. Then they feel like that's a part of life because they see it on the blogs, they see it on the internet. They live in this false ideology of this is how you're supposed to live, and they think that they really got to be about that life. You know what I'm saying? And it's stupid as hell. You know, and they don't give a damn about killing innocent people when they're in the act of it. All they want to do is catch a body. And it's unfortunate.
We need some more role models, man. I like that.
But see,
like that.
This is why we bring awareness. I'm gonna say in the poetry community as well, because once you start to travel more, a lot of poets, and because this is TCP, this is poetry talk. A lot of poets in different parts of the world, they are these mass advocators for people like that. They do work in justice systems. They do work and advocate for children like that. So it's like we just gotta continue to do what we do on our aspect to bring awareness and find a way to collaborate and reach out, like how we reach out to each other to collab. They need our voices just as well. We have to reach out for them people and draw them into our type of communities. You know what I'm saying? And that's sometimes the best that we can do with what we got. You know what I'm, that's a start. You know what I'm saying? And it's still condolences to your family from that, you know, having to endure that. It's still, you know, suddenly, you know, to her children. And, you know, we always affirming strength for your family, especially, you know, during this time, because it's a lot to tackle. It is a lot to tackle. Yes.
Before, let's see. Okay, before you go into yours, let's hit up the. Let's see what's in these comments. Let's go back. Still in slavery. Poessence. Poessence. Say she love the vibe and the energy of us. I'm chill too, man. Usually, my anxiety be so high, yo. Confessions got me chill, yo. I mean, I love working with her.
Rolling down the street,
Yeah.
smoking dope, sipping on gin and juice, lay back. Okay.
Alex say we still overworking, underpaid. That part.
Yes.
Blitz on the line. What's up,
What's popping,
Blitz?
Blitz? Thank you, everybody, for taking your time to
Yeah,
join.
yeah,
Time
yeah. We
time
got
is the most
snap.
expensive thing. So, you know.
My cousin say, Chelsea say, we gotta love ourselves before somebody can love us. That's facts
Period,
right there.
poet.
Facts.
That's an
Facts.
affirmation.
Poessing say the misguided leading the blind is sad. Yep.
It is. It is. So we stand up in the best way that we know how. You know what I'm saying? When they come to these open mics and stuff in the community, these are the messages. We ain't just up there talking about the stars and the skies. We ain't up there just, you know what I'm saying, spitting a bunch of pointless things out. Yeah. One of my favorite lines by Erykah Badu, she said, "I liberate these niggas' mind and I go on home." You getting educated knowledge through entertainment. What more do you want from me? No, I'm quick playing. But we're gonna dive right. We're gonna dive off. I'm gonna back up off of that. For those of you who don't know, I have a career in corrections. I ain't just talking about the basic level. I'm talking about maximum security. It comes with a lot of hardship. During the time where I was actively working in corrections at a maximum security, I got to open I got to be out here, what they call the free world, and then I got to be behind bars with the inmates as well. And it's the whips and chains of it all. You know, I remember watching what's his name, Black Panther, and the villain of it, he was like, throw me over the seas and let me drown like my ancestors did, instead of locking me up in bondage. And working in corrections, I felt that heavy. So this one right here, I have not recited this one in about 2 years. I actually had forgot about it, but this is based off a true story that is from my experiences, and it's called Prison School. Preparation. The action or process of make ready for use, like the prison systems do, and the Board of Education too. Open mind is common sense, and the value of fair thinking is the freedom that's required. For critical thinking, man, we must be dreaming. The American dream that programs us with fear and material things. You respect social influences and go on big travel dates, yet your kids at home stink and haven't ate today. It's such a mental state of constitutional arrangements. How the school system prepares us for poor prison pavements, take the wheels off the school bus and draw a floating fleet. Because back then they used boats to capitalize on slavery, told to relax, like we have forgotten that both corrupt systems get paid good for Black bodies, inexpensive product, that Black folks lack the knowledge how we went from picking fields to being more than value cotton. And when students get crazy with changes in behavior, the principal sends them to in school isolation. Even prisoners hate it. The meanest of them can't shake it. Confined to a cell for 23 hours a day, man. That's what COVID demonstrated when we had to wait in line in grocery stores just to eat perishable pesticides, and the system has us blind in the house being scary. CDC, New World Order vaccine side effects vary like prisoners in commissary. First time offender Jason, guards threw him up on C Block just to see if he would make it. Joined the family of the Crips. By the bloods he be beat. He wanted to finish his jail time in some kind of peace. Oh, say, can't you see what they did to the OG? 3 pounds of weed got Jason in 3 years deep when he was just trying to eat and feed his family. But he was shanked on his way back to sell Block C. We in the land of the free with inexpensive faith. Like that bullshit they preaching in Florida today. You know, teachers are required to keep students inspired by saying that slavery gave us powerful knowledge that brutality and violence and decades of getting killed is the very foundation of Black folks' intellectual skills. Nigga, you gotta be real. Do you hear yourself speak? Our natural gifts are inherited. Don't you dare give credit to slavery in classroom. See, that's where Shantae speaks. What does any of this have to do with my history? See, my daddy taught me about the old ancient days when the colonizers came here with torture and hate. See, the people that they raided was melanin made, so the news that Columbus discovered the land here was fake. Now, although the teacher did support Donald Trump, Shantae was expelled for disruption of education. See, ain't that amazing? It's a casual demonstration of how racial disparity causes students humiliation, like recess and visitation. Dress codes cause limitations. Kids wear uniforms like jumpsuits on inmates. Can't y'all see what this is about? Mind control. And they make sure they started at kindergarten years old. You know, I was a CO, kind of like Rick Ross, but I'm Big Meech in my hood, ho. So fuck what you thought. You know, she was super glad to go see her dad and share the experience that she recently had. She stood up to the teacher. He taught her so well. But we took her to the chapel with a message from hell. Hey, yo, I apologize to have to come at you this way. But see, your daddy would not be in visitation today. See, he was a part of a gang and the Crips took a race because he fed the disabled bloods every day. He became a threat to all the gangs, but yet he died in peace. Here's a photo he left of you on cell Block C. And with tears in her eyes, Shantae said, dang, later today, I walked the stage to graduate.
Spit, poet, spit. Oh, that's why you my sister in poetry. Oh, yeah. Damn. Bring that fire, yo. I know I heard that poem too before, but shit, yo.
It's based on a true story. Is seeing both sides of it. There was a Black man that got pulled over for 3 pounds of weed, and that's based on a true story. And he would come in visitation and see his daughter would show up all the time and visit him. And he actually told me that story personally about her and no, actually the wife. His wife had told all of us the story about, you know, her getting into it with the teacher and how she was really excited to come let him know, you know, she know who she, I remember who I was, daddy, and all this other type of stuff. And it was just heartening because during that time I was a baby. Like I started out, I did my time, you know, when I was 18. No, I started working in corrections and going to school for criminal justice, like right after that. So I was like, I just graduated high school. Like, you know, I felt resonated with her on a different level. So, you know, we have to break them chains, man. You know, we got to break them chains, bro. We got to break them chains. That's just what it's about.
Ooh, man, I see nothing but fires and
Thank
snaps. I
you.
see
Thank
some
you.
bombs just everywhere. Just boom.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
she said it off.
everyone.
She said it off.
We're gonna
Yeah,
get off into
yeah.
this is not a hate speech.
Heck yeah,
Okay, hold
man.
on. Let me
Let's
pull up my facts real quick.
Ooh,
Cause you know,
this the poem. If y'all don't show up for no other poem in this hour-long event, this the poem that y'all want to hear. This is it right here, y'all.
okay. So before let me get my cam back on. Before we get off into it, couple more facts about Juneteenth. Southern delay and a sacred day. June 19, 1865, 2.5 years after the Emancipation of Proclamation. General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, dirty ass water, and told enslaved black people, "You are free." The world didn't travel late. It was intentionally withheld. Now I don't know how I feel with that part right there. I actually was reading this off a CDC site, but anyway. Um so Juneteenth for us, I want to stop reading and just get off into it before we actually get off into the poem. Juneteenth. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me pull it back up. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I am not a professional. Okay.
Come on now.
Okay. So Juneteenth, I know from where I'm from. I'm from East Texas. I'm from Tyler, Texas, country southern. Juneteenth, where I'm from, is we celebrate, but we don't really just celebrate. We celebrate black people and where we're from. We celebrate our culture. We celebrate each other in the present moment. We celebrate family. We celebrate just each other. You will hear it in the poem. I had a whole trail of thought, but it went away. But anything you want to add about what Juneteenth means for you and your family, Maya?
I want to spit. You know me.
Ooh, you want to spit?
I just spit. I don't talk. I spit.
Okay.
I spit. I can't talk. I spit.
Okay.
That's
All right,
what
so
I do
let's get
best.
off into it.
That's what I do best. I want to spit.
Drum roll. This spoken word is called "This is not a hate speech." Free at last. Free at last. Thank God Almighty, we ain't whooping white folks' ass. See, this is not a hate speech. This is simply to teach how history repeats in your mind this week. Stuck in the mental state of religious program, they ripped us off of self-knowledge. We are the great I am. So come what may, as we release on this stage, see, you have been programmed with religion and hate and deception and lies through Sodom's creation. The new era of emancipation, of proclamation, is the return of the Mac. And don't you dare quiver. Our grandmama sang many songs of hope down by the river.
I was born by the river like the song from Sam Cooke. My mother's blood washed away from the brook, captured like a slave on a hook. It's been a long time coming, but I'm still running from the hounds like I'm shook. I know a change gonna come, but until then, just look.
In history textbooks, see, they play with our minds to keep us on slavery hooks. Now we work a 9 to 5. That's what Lincoln created. They still give us breadcrumbs. They just call that shit labor. Make us pray for one nation that's under the laws of God when clocking in is still slavery. It's just mentally disguised. My back pains, my feet hurt, coke work, treat me like dirt. Then they got the nerve to tax me for time work. They beat rotten the skin of those who knew of self-knowledge. Then fed us good old chitlins filled with feces and vomit, and we just took the breadcrumbs, or to death we be silenced. Now that's jump down and turn around and pick a bale of cotton 24 hours every day, 8 to 10 we grinding straight. We bust our ass for corporations that grant us no financial gain. Give me back what's mine, the 40 acres and the mule. They took spirituality away and used religion as a tool. Well, I'm here to flip the script. You know, the rabbits got the gun. And this year, colonizer hunting's gonna be real fun.
It's duck season, silly bitches. Y'all better run. I'm pulling out the Nintendo Switch and y'all about to get some. I heard this dude Lincoln done fucked up and set us free. It's 1865 and he told y'all in 63. So I got at least 2 years of back pay coming to me. Y'all get y'all mule and 40 acres of land. What the hell happened? Damn it, they already done killed the man. Now here come Andrew Johnson fucking up the plan. Can I at least get a ride back to Africa or something? Oh, so y'all just gonna release me and not give me nothing?
They gave us stimulus checks just to keep us a hushing.
All right, y'all, back to work we go. Let's build this shit up. I thought we's free, so why y'all keep whipping us? Look, mister, I'm tired. I don't want to go to the back of the bus. Them seats just the same up here, so don't make this a petty fuss. Now sit your ass down somewhere, because I'm trying to get home. Matter of fact, just drop me off at the corner. You know I can't get no damn loan. I got this much saved up to get me some land. This thieving sucker just took $2 out of my hand. Uncle who? I don't know that brother. He ain't no kin to me. We just gave y'all 100 years of labor, so give us tax free.
Did you know that Black Americans were allowed to vote right after slavery was abolished during the times of Jim Crow? See, we had hospitals and schools and we voted against prisons. We owned banks and had high ranks in community. As civilians, Black Wall Street was burned down by that KKK nation. I mean, U.S.
You mean the government?
Oh, well, that's the same shit, ain't it? See, civil rights gave us the right to take back our land, and that's why
African American studies have now been banned.
See, it's time to put up your hands. Hear the words that we speak. We teach facts on history.
This is not a hate speech.
And I'm going to take off my cleats, bitch. It ain't no more running. And in the hood, we fought bare feet. And the whole family was coming. The 7 trumpets in Revelation, it's like a whistle to me. My grandma blowed a horn. She say, sick 'em confessions. Let's eat. We earned the right to be niggas. That's why we celebrate Juneteenth. Pop the top on the slab. Yeah, we watermelon. It's good. It's full of H3O and it's good for our intestines. We might have a talent show just to show off our family talents, and a fight might break out if you ain't showing good manners. Martin Luther on our shirts with big hoop earrings, and we just might have a praise break if a church mother sings. So you tell me who's really to blame. They planted crack and cocaine in our 80s domain, and in Jesus' name, if you say you rebuke the devil, cops blast, protect, and serve as your ticket to heaven. And
Hey, sis, get a grip. Don't loosen them reins. They didn't choke up with their whips when they came equipped to skip us like rocks herding us into them ships. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Well, give me a shield and let me be your sword. America's unexplored history restored. Blood keeps getting washed away and ignored. And we're forced to build our armies of hordes screaming Black Lives Matter. Hell yeah, we keeping score. You knocked this brother to the ground and kneeled on his neck while smiling into the camera like you just earned some respect. We watched old dude take his last breath on YouTube with you glued in position for 7 more minutes. You thought you was gonna get a medal from Guinness pushing limits, but you only made him infamous. Now say his name, boy, and put some bass in your voice, bitch.
George Floyd. Home. Y'all have to see that live, because when we do that live and sync, it's a little bit lag on here, but when we do that live, we shake the table, the whole building go on fire. Most definitely. We tackled a lot off in that we brought awareness. We took it back to history, our foundation again. We stayed on topic, emancipation of proclamation. You know, why did they free us? How free are we? Now that we are free, what do you plan on doing? And if you just now finding out that you free through our conversation, what you plan on doing with it? It's a call to take action. We got to really take action nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So many people are going to share these and see these clips, and they're going to be like, you know what? Hell yeah. Let's reach out to them. Let's get the community revolving there. You've got the Dallas poetry community coming in. And I got the East Texas people coming in, and together we stand. Together we stand. Okay. I'm gonna behave.
Man, all I see is fist and fire in the comments, yo.
Thank you, guys. Can you read them? I can't see that little old bitty. So I can't see that little.
I got it on the big comments too. Yeah, I put it on the stage, but I got it in the big comments. That's literally all it is, yo. It's fists.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Exclamation marks and hearts and 100 check marks, drums, all that, yo.
Thank you, guys.
All the love you can give. That's all it is.
I came to relax, but it's hot in here. Yes, it's summertime. We was hot when we found the hell out that we were supposed to be free, ma'am. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. But we was hot when them slaves came over and they said, what is y'all doing? Why y'all still doing this? And we was like, oh, no, we big mad. But thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you for tuning.
Oh man, we got about 15 more minutes. Let's go ahead and
we're gonna keep it going.
Keep it rolling. I'm gonna do my last individual piece of the night.
Talk about it first before you get into it.
Talk about it. You
Well, no,
want to talk
no.
about
We're
it?
gonna get into it. We're gonna
Yeah,
talk about it after.
let me go ahead and spit it, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, now this was my first. This was actually my first social injustice poem that I wrote. Yo, and this was actually the first poem that I actually cussed in. I was so hot. Oh, I was supposed to talk about it afterwards, right? But I'm talking about it a little before though. Just a little before.
Because this
But yeah,
conversation we finna have next is gonna be fire.
yeah. I'm just giving y'all a little just a little tip of it. That yeah, this is my very first social injustice poem piece that I did write. I was hot. Like I was hot. You're gonna hear that. I was hot and I just let go in this. So and it's called law abiding citizens. And I do got a part 2 of it. But we're gonna keep the part 1 right
Get into it.
tonight. Let's go. Whew. Let me catch my breath. Damn, man, we was on fire there. Hey, Smith. I'm too fat for this shit, yo. Woo. Okay. No justice, no peace. I'm writing this shit while I'm fucking angry. Law-abiding citizen until America created me. This man say he don't approve of everything y'all write when you stoke the fire in your soul and hatred takes over with your fist balled and you ready to fight. I love poetry because poetry knows no boundaries. I can spit whatever I want. Who the fuck gonna judge me? Sometimes I think I get put in these situations just to elevate my voice. Because when you tie my hands behind my back and kidnap the way of life I try to provide for my kids, you leave me without a choice. Real talk, I never swear in a poem. I never felt the means to. Because I had enough time to sit down and think of the million other words I could use. But fuck them. This ain't no typical tantrum. I'm giving a speech and I ain't muting my words when I teach. Like a Southern Baptist, I'm here to preach. And you soft jokers out of my reach, don't touch me. I used to be lovely until lovely got ugly. This world's so muggy and I ain't blind, just low key. Now, I know a bitch fucking Tom for promotion and money. Knees skid up, but the story ain't funny. Slept her whole way through the lines then. Got to the top, but forgot the color of her skin. Thought she was tall because her heels lifted her up 6 inches like a steeple. Why we the only race that stomp our own people? This shit is crazy, taboo. This conversation is way overdue. This what America made you? Stepping in the queue trying to argue with me? Look before you leap. Forgetting your value? You's a sheep. As you sow, so shall you reap. Tongue slobbing up Uncle Sam going throat deep. Used to be a time we wasn't good enough to die for this country. Paid with blood for our entry. Got no love from this country. Now you want us to lie for this country, cuz? You hold us up like billboards exporting justice to other countries just because you feel bored, and the lies sink like quicksand. The Middle East ain't gonna bow to no white man. Man, they say we should thank them for taking us out of Africa, bringing us to America. Their history is hysteria. They wouldn't be prosperous if it wasn't for us. Then put us in the hood and redline our community. Mixed school districts together so they could call it unity. Gave us crack and liquor just to get us sicker and left us without a clue. If they fed the white neighborhoods that much, then they would eat it too. Want to tell us we all got excuses, that's why we not trying. You walking a thin line and looking for a leap hole while you recruiting our people. Yeah, you aligning the stars to trend with folks like Candace Owens and Ben Carson co-signing. And no one's debt lasts forever unless they're in debt with the devil. I ain't trying to be on your level. This life ain't without gratis. You ain't gonna make me a status. I don't get buried in the crowd. My mind's not in a cloud. If I got something to say, then I'ma say that shit out loud. While you testing me, I'm not gonna leave you guessing with me. Keep pressing me. Have you depressing me? I'm a blessing, you see. America's biggest secret they want to keep. A mad black woman with a lit fuse they misuse and can't diffuse. I'm that 1-star review hunting you on the news. I can't be caged, pepper sprayed, disengaged. I won't swallow my rage. I am not my ancestors. This a different page. Can you see it? They entertaining our views, mocking our opinion, faking our attention. Got Kamala's husband dressing in African linen, looking like a clown. It's all a joke to these folks. If you ain't a straight white feather, then they mixing us all together like we all flock together in bad weather. Listen very closely. I know nothing about being gay. So why is my color in their flag like we're all born the same way? I'm not hating whatsoever. I'm just saying. You're mixing February with May and Juneteenth with Pride Day like we all share the same parades. I'm sick of the charades. Make America great again. Show me the cuffs on this man. It's not an arrest if you can't see past his skin. White America, if you think this is fiction, then you don't fit the description. There ain't no organization, no real structure. The government's dominated by color and falsified religions, and we sitting like some damn stool pigeons because we all just some law-abiding citizens.
And pew, 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 pew. Yes. She set the stage ablaze. She set it ablaze. Look, you got fires after fires after fires. Fires. Energy. So we're going to dive right into the conversation real quick.
Okay.
If we diving right off into the conversation, when I very first heard law-abiding citizens, that's the first poem I heard from Maya. And I was filling it up to the part when she said, go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I just had a brain fart.
I mean, no disrespect. This is where conversation got real.
Okay. I know nothing about being gay, so why is my color in their flag like we're all born the same way?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna finish it up. I ain't hating. I'm just saying you mixing February with May and Juneteenth with Pride Day like we share the same parades.
I was instantly triggered. I was rooting for her, and I was like, I'm not rooting anymore. What the fuck do you mean? Because I'm a triple threat. I'm all three. I'm black, I'm a woman, and I'm a lesbian. I can't separate February from June because I'm all three when I walk in. So immediately I was triggered by that conversation. I was like, I don't understand. And it sat with me for so long. And I finally was like, Maya, we got to talk about this. I was like, because there's a different perspective that I want you to see. I was like, now it's not you. It's not because of you that it triggered. But that line for me where it was like, I don't understand. Can you break that down for me more? Because we can't choose the color of our skin, all that other type of stuff. I was like, but I'm black, I'm woman, and I'm a lesbian. It's not to say that one outweighs the other. It's just literally for me, I can't separate that. Now, I'm not a big pride person. I don't go around waving the flag of it all. HIJKLMNP, any more damn letters. I don't even. I'm like Maya in that aspect. Don't typically label me by what you see me as. But I know I'm aware how society labels me. Let me put it like that. So because of that, it's just like I did not understand what I wanted to know her opinion on how that verse was formed in depth. So
yeah, and all I was saying, I didn't. Whenever I was writing that part, it didn't really strike me that I was trying to offend the gay community or anything whatsoever. It's just, to me, I was just saying with everything, with culture, with race, with ethnicity, everything is just our government and is just putting us in this big pot of stew all minorities, all religions, all uh uh culture and race and ethnicity. We're just this big pot of stew. If you're not a straight white male, you're putting this big pot of stew and you're mixed all together. And that's all we are. And and that's it. And I hate that it wasn't that separation of, it's like, if you're gay, you're black. No. And I understand, and I was telling Confessions, I understand it's a triple threat, her being black, her
because
being
there's gay
female,
white,
and
there's
her being gay.
there's
But
gay
if you're,
racist
but I
folks.
was trying to say, if you're a black, if you're a white female or a white or a white dude, you can't tell me that that's the same thing as being black. No, that's what triggers me.
You can, and just like if you
Okay.
are white, if you are a
Gay,
white gay, if you are a white gay
yeah, white
woman, you
dude,
can't
yeah,
tell me that's the same thing as being black. It
yeah,
does
that's what I
not
was saying.
go, because, like we said at the beginning, we are the founders of this whole thing. Society makes that the dominant population, not us. That's why I keep saying mental slavery is broken when we are initially aware of who we are. That's when the change is really,
And
really
then I was
broken.
like,
So,
and then like as we were saying before, I was like, it's the same thing as a white woman telling me, "Oh, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. You may feel my you can't completely feel my pain, as
right.
you may be a woman, but you can't completely feel my pain because you're a white woman. You're not a black woman. Yeah, you may have had some stuff happen to you for being a woman, but you ain't had everything that's happened to me for being a black woman. You know what I mean? So that's where that line in that poem comes from, with the understanding of, hey, you need to separate some shit. Y'all, what the
Yeah.
fuck are y'all doing,
No,
yo?
they don't need to categorize us as all. We can't really
Just,
be sick.
yeah, I mean,
No,
you
I
just
get what you're saying. No, I'm agreeing, but in all, they can't categorize us. You can't put us in nothing. You
but
stand out too loud. They ain't got no culture. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say this is not a hate speech. We speaking real. I don't know what the white culture is, and it's not to shaming somebody. I would love to be educated on it. And I know it might sound ignorant coming out of my mouth. Educate me on the damn culture
but it's
so I
the
can tell everybody.
okay. I got one more point to make. Okay, so you the most cliche thing that you could say, oh, I teach my kids to be colorblind. Why, yo? Why you teach your kids to be ignorant? So you gonna teach little Johnny so little Johnny is gonna find out, is gonna wonder why Marco and Zeandre is getting treated differently by this cop than he is, and wonder what's going on because you teaching your kids to be colorblind. You know what I'm saying? No, stop teaching your kids to be colorblind. That's stupid. That's the most dumbest fucking phrase that I've ever heard, yo.
No, so since you brought that up about, especially you talking about what's the last thing you said while he's getting pulled over? What did you say?
Say what?
What did you say? You gonna teach little Johnny what?
You gonna
How?
teach you gonna teach little Johnny you're gonna teach little Johnny to be ignorant, and so he gonna wonder why little Marco and little Zeandre getting treated differently by the popo than he is.
And then that brings me into I'm the final poem of the night. We're gonna talk about the popo. This is one of my favorite pieces that I ever created, and it's called Driving While Black. And it was actually based off the novel by, oh my gosh, I can't, Octavia Spencer, The Hate That You Give. They also made a movie out of it. I
That was
was
a good
very
movie.
inspired because there are real life situations that go by this. So paying homage to that book, paying homage to Black people. And we're going to get off into this one before we head out. And this is called Driving While Black. There's one conversation Black parents can't avoid. The very thought of it makes them paranoid. Sit down, my sweet babies. I must train your thoughts. It's time for us to finally have the talk. Some things in life come with unfair consequences. For this conversation, I need your attention. Not the birds and the bees. Is when your hive's under attack. It's time to learn the dangers of driving while black. Law enforcement swears by their very own codes that shows how many civilians break the rules of the road. The most common for black folks is 1195, but in court, it's disguised as a routine traffic stop. As your heart rate increases, it's time to pay your dues. Americans' colors flash in your rear view. Keep your hands on the dash. Only answer what you've been asked. Pay attention to the name and the number on his badge. Excuse me, miss, do you know why I pulled you over? No, officer, please tell me what exactly is the motive. When we run your ID, then we will go over it. License and registration. Hurry up, hand them over. He looked over her shoulder, and her son was in the back and asked, why was she alone? And where was his dad? Put a seatbelt on. That would be a citation. Rules are in place, and you people love to break them. Silently, I reached my hand off inside of my purse and handed over my ID as he requested at first. Now, awareness is required. Be in the present moment when you reach for your ID. His hand is on his gun holster, and the sweat between his brows shows the truth so clear. We are made in God's image, so in black folks, cops fear. He got a call from the radio, and it was the dispatch. Now, I have to answer that, so I'll be right back. Keep your hands where I can see them. Go control that black demon. Give him some milk or something so that he can stop screaming. Patrol 95, please be on the lookout. We have a gray Nissan Altima with a missing hubcap. It's a black female driver, and Texas is the state. I'll dispatch you in the minute with the license plate. Now, 95 didn't hesitate to call a 1078. That's a request for assistance. Now, backup's on the way. With wore boots and a vest, his actions wasn't the best when the baby boy threw up, leaving his mom's car in a mess. So she grabbed a napkin out of the middle console and was flabbergasted as the officer approached. 3 shots went off. Now, I told you not to move. Put down the weapon, ma'am. Get out of the vehicle, too. We've got a 1032. That means a person with a gun. But he only shot at a woman who was holding a napkin. He was relieved that the bullets only missed her by an inch. But unfortunately for the kid, he was shot in the ribs. And although the officer's actions were very stupid, we still had to go to trial. Judge, jury, and prosecution, they too have a duty to protect and serve, but those rules only apply when a white person gets hurt. By the systems we are cursed. Blacks are treated like dirt. He was asked why he pulled his weapon out on her at first, and he was justified with this one statement: well, she just fit the description of the vehicle we was chasing. And as for the kid, it was an accident too, but see, the driver's at fault because we told her not to move. See, he walked a free man and sparked community rights, and I got 6 months for failure to compliance. And my lawyer didn't even state their biggest mistake. The dispatch never got back with the correct license plate. And then breaking news as the story unfolds: another tragic death of a black 5-year-old. Well, as long as black folks keep getting put in the dirt, age really don't matter because justice is served. Tupac's thug life needs the hate that you give come back in consequence and affect all our kids. Well, I'm a black advocate, so assassinate me, pigs. But we ain't peaceful protesting like Martin Luther King them did. Yeah, I'm calling out the laws, and poetry is my weapon. And in case they need an alias, his bitches confessions. Poem.
Fire, 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 fire,
Pew, 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 pew. Yes.
Yo,
Yes.
this was a dope ass night, yo. I was loving it.
Beautiful discussion. Beautiful
Yeah,
discussion.
yeah.
Yes.
The vibe was perfect.
Thank
Yo,
you to the
100.
comment section. Thank you to the comment section. I love you. Y'all are fire too. Y'all are fire because y'all stayed tuned this whole hour and vibed out with us and listened to us. And when she posts these clips, when we post these, share this. This is how we start to make a change. This is how we continue to educate our culture and the world. The world needs to see this. Remember, this Juneteenth thing is just now being spread. A lot of people didn't even know what it means. Let's keep on and let's teach them the right way. This is the correct way.
We talking about this poetry. This is our therapy, yo. We don't ask for no, no nothing. I mean, sharing this is free. like and subscribe. I mean, all this is it don't cost nothing to share, to like, to get the word out. We're not asking for nothing but that. I mean, we don't want your monies. We don't want. I mean, you can hold on to your $2.
Shit, my cash app
I
is
mean,
an all.
nah, we
Well,
just.
check
I
this
mean.
out. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, we gonna keep this going. We TCP, we gonna keep this going. Once a month for an hour, we gonna get on. We gonna have our therapy session with poetry, and feel free to join us, chime in. This is our thing. This is what we gonna do. Watch out. We'll share the next date whenever we get it. Watch it. Just we'll keep y'all posted.
And I'm gonna
So
do just a quick shameless plug real quick, and then Maya gonna hook her shameless plug before we get out of here. You can always go to www.confessionalcoaching.com. You can see it right there up under my name. I have a very impactful workshop coming up next month, July the 8th. It is called Joblessness. Is it a setback or a step back? You might not be the person who's lost a job, but you might know somebody who can aid to it. We're also going to give out resources for people who may also be looking for a job. We can help you. We can't just I'm going to help you find a job, but maybe we can help you search for resources and help you have a different eyesight after the workshop. It is with therapist, educator. She's been a teacher for years. Her name is P.A. Fuller. She's my partner and life coach and all things education. And yeah, stay tuned for that. And then keep your eye out for TCP, because y'all just seeing the scratch version. We started hitting up these. I'ma shut up.
No, because you're the professional, yo. I just spit. You don't one that's gonna bring us up. I'm
you
just gonna
just
spit
had
whenever
to
you
trigger
get
me
us
before we got off the live. You just had to trigger. Like, damn, no. No, give your shameless plugs, Maya. What we got popping up?
Yeah. So anyway, just watch out for us, yo. I'm on the most social media that I am on IG too. At my IG is underneath my name. I still don't know really how to use that one, so I'm really. I think I got my Facebook connected to it, so some posts be popping up on there. But
we getting it together.
the best way to yeah, right. The best way to reach me is on Facebook. That's the one that I'm on the most. And Maya the B, that's my Facebook account right there. You can follow me on that one, and then also YouTube. The below is my YouTube account as well. You can subscribe to that one. So if you want to follow us, follow everything TCP, always on there. I even got a TCP page for us, yo. That's but anyway, yeah, I'm always promoting everything that's on there, even confession stuff. Confession, she's the life her life coaching stuff, her events. I'm always promoted on my
Maya
page.
is a grand supporter. Maya don't just support one people. Maya supports everyone. She shares everybody information.
Y'all looking for shit to do online, offline? Follow my page, yo.
So yes, follow, support, share her TikToks, and until next month, we gonna stay tuned to see what the topic gonna be. I'm pretty sure we got.
We'll figure out something.
We the constipated folks. We got a lot of shit to say.
Yeah, we full of shit.
All right, we love you guys.
Till next time.
Thank y'all for tuning in. We outie.
Peace out. Bless.